Or, hey, there you are. It's me on a Monday. What? Well, not really. Because Freya's out of town, I decided that I would go ahead and stream. And to that end, I decided that I'm gonna stream. Not this. We'll be coming back to this bad boy in just a little bit. This, by the way, is the Monsgeek M1 TMR. That's the V5. That I did on the last stream with the clear keycaps. The clear keycaps just didn't work. So, since it does a true per key RGB that's assignable, I decided to go with some glorious celestial fire for it, because then I can color the RGB appropriately for each individual key, which I think looks really nice. So we're actually going to just leave that there for now. We'll come back to that because we're going to look at different software. We're also going to see if we can take this thing apart and how this thing really is. So I think we'll even rebuild it. I think with probably the DeHuck switches. So different MelGeek ways to reach them, I guess. Contact, yeah, Discord, what have you. It's cool. Set it on the side. Keyboard. We'll set that on the side. We'll come back to you in just a second. There's our quick guide. Which shows our various hotkeys. And English, no less. So, got that. And we'll see B stickers, depending on your, I don't know, something. Insurance card. Safety and compliance card. Rogue hair. That's always nice. And then in the back here we have some extra keycaps. I'm guessing from Mac or Windows compatibility. A keycap puller, no switch puller, and a braided USB A to C cable. And this can all stay in there, at least for now. Okay, cool. As can this. As can you. Well, not you, not yet. As can you. So the Real67, as its name implies, the 67 key, 65% keyboard. Made by MelGeek. And they have really been kind of pushing their name in the Hall effect space with this kind of themed look. Take a look at the keyboard. Oh, I forgot the stickers. Well, we'll just leave the stickers there. You can stare at us while we work. Alright. Plug my phone so it has power later. Yeah, here is the keyboard. It's a straight up wedge keyboard. It is plastic, ABS plastic. It has a little bit of weight to it. This badge here is metal, but that is the only thing that's metal on this thing. Maybe so that they can call it a metal and plastic keyboard. supposedly there is some sort of STLs that you can make changes. And then you've kind of got this 8-bit blocky cutout here on the back where the USB-C is. This is not going to be something we take apart because this is obviously going to be a pain. But before we start it up, let's go ahead and do a quick starting typing test. So this is completely stock. This is how it comes. And here we go. All right. First thoughts is that it doesn't sound very good. I mean, maybe if you really, really, really like clack, then this is the keyboard for you. Let's see. How thick are the keycaps? So, I mean, the keycaps themselves are 1.6 millimeters thick, which is decent. That's actually good for keycaps. And I think these are PBT. But, I mean, probably the biggest problem with this keyboard is going to be right here. So this is their, I think it's just a recolor of the TTC COM switch. It's got that top and bottom type structure, which they have in a blue and white colorway with a clear case. So I'm sure that when we do this, we will be blinded, which is fine, but, you know, I prefer being blinded with science. Let's bring it some power. Yeah, that's about what I expected. What was that? Not enough juice, maybe? We'll pull the cable from the Monsgeek. Bring it on over. Plug it in. It seems like that's probably going to be some sort of gauge to show. Ooh, new pushing up roses. Hello, also not a Barney. Same problem I had with the other clear is that this is hard to read for me. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this is the MelGeek 67. It supposedly has a 0 dead zone, which would mean that it would likely be a TMR. It could just be lying to us. So socked. It should be. So the one we have here is the calcium gray. So this will have software that I will need to install. Which is lame. I mean, you don't get as dynamic of an update. Or, wait, hold. Nope, it does have an online. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Whew, that was close. So already this is looking better than the Mag Core 87 since I have access to the function layer. That's good. And it doesn't appear as if anything is locked, which is also good, except for that. That is locked. Let's see. Can we just update the firmware? You can. As a matter of fact, if you click on it, you have to. Hey, Beast Mode. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, and so it throws out, which is fine. You have different profiles. Is there a way to switch your profiles? Yes. That would be these CFGs here. So that's nice. Except for I think it might have completely jacked up our... Let's restore that. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Now we're all good. That was weird. So watch out for that. Did it reset them all like that? It did. Super weird. Like a feature. Let's check out the lighting. Moonlight. Blue. Oh, that's the moonlight. Backlight. Blue. No, that's much better to read. Oh, yeah. We'll be leaving that. Or actually, will we, though? Yeah, we'll be leaving it blue. Blue is... the easiest to read. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, okay. So we're going to be leaving this blue for now. Oh, but we can do a per key RGB. So. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And now I've ruined it. Not a lot of choice here, but some. Okay. That's going to be the gradual change. Okay. Change it back. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Here's our rapid trigger. You can do rapid trigger for just select keys. What do we got? Currently it's set to 1.5. And then set the dead zone. I should do that. Okay. What's everybody doing tonight? Shrinking it down some in case anybody wants to chat at me. Where are my peeps at? Nobody says that. What is adaptive actuation? Yeah, that's interesting. Yes. I want a spacebar as much as I want. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it does its thing, you know. 1.5, whatever, 0.4, turn it off. So you could select it. I don't know what parm means. What does parm mean? Oh, so it shows the parameters on each key. That's nice, actually. And a lot of my other ones do that too. Which we'll take a look at in just a little bit. So Do we want to rebuild first or look at software first? I think we probably want to rebuild first. Get out of here, plate 4. We're not going to need you. So, remember this sound. Because it'll get better, I'm hoping. We got home, delete, page up, page down. Isn't that hideous? Well, she looks hideous. Well, she's a guy. Hey man, what's going on, War Manatee? What's good? Well, we are hoping that the MelGeek Real67 is good. Starting off, it's kinda clacky, and by kinda clacky, I mean it's just really high pitched. It's like shrill, as opposed to which that is PBT dice-up PBT keycaps with Geon Raws is what's in it right now. What's going on with you, man? Or well, man. I just say man. I say non-ginger specific, so assume whatever ginger pleases you at any given moment. That's how everybody should be. Do whatever you want. There's a whole song about it in New Orleans called Do What You Want. So these have TTC basically COM recolors in it. I don't really see anything different from the KOM switches, which are basically like the Magneto switches. I don't know if I'm an expert. I just like keyboards. But what are you looking for? 'Cause maybe I have some suggestions. Welcome back, Beast Mode. Because there's some good stuff, depending on what profile you're looking for and whatnot. So this is an aluminum plate, by the way, and it does have these dampeners here. There is some sort of foam on top of the PCB. Again, we're not pulling apart this keyboard because it is not held together by screws, and I do not feel like putting a wedge in here. Oh, well, that's fun, I guess. What kind of budget are you looking for? I mean, obviously, as less as you can get, but like, what are you willing to spend for the complete keyboard? And then, are there any considerations like color? Sub 200, that's going to be easy. Do you need something like a full? Are you looking for, does it have to have a 10 key? Do you need all this extra stuff over here? Do you even need arrows? I guess if you're gaming, you might want arrows, but a lot of people don't. So. Full-sized. Okay. What about... So, I don't, but a lot of people would consider, and you'll see this one again later, so this is the Keychron Q5. A lot of people consider this to be also be a full-size keyboard. Oh, thanks, whomever that was. Oh, you. We consider this to be a full-size keyboard. Now, I don't. This is an 1800. It has the numpad, and it has pretty much all of the keys you're going to need, and including +1. This is a Hall effect keyboard, this particular one, but they make it in non-Hall effect. But the big question is this an acceptable profile for you? Because that'll open you up a little bit. To some other options. You don't want something like that, yeah, or like this. Well, there's this mini. I have a minier one here, and then I have another type of mini keyboard over there. Well, I mean, the spacing on the keys are the same. You could always go with a split, but no. We're getting way out of the box here. What about a function row? Do you need a function row? What about something like, not this one per se, but as an example? I mean, you can always clip them beast mode. So this is what's called an FRL 1800. 1800 is a reference to something old that I don't know exactly what it is. But so you don't have a function row along the top, but you do have the numpad. And you can always use function and a number to get your function row. It just, you know, I mean, I don't know that there's anything I can think of in the sub 200 range that is an FRL 1800, actually, off the top of my head. So, I'm just kind of trying to test your parameters, I guess. Because Freya, oh, okay. So, space isn't an issue. Because Freya has a 75%, which is similar to this one, and then has a number pad. Well, Logitech doesn't make very great boards. and they charge you more for it. So I would recommend staying away from Logitech. Razer is middling. But they tend to overcharge for their stuff too. So, yeah, Razer. A lot of those companies are upcharging just for the name. Whereas you can get something like something like a Monsgeek or an Akko keyboard, and they're much cheaper. Come on. And they're hot swappable. So if you find that you are not liking the switches or you have problems with switches, you can always replace the switches. Most non-membrane keyboards, you'll be able to change out the keycaps on them, so that's not a big deal. Alright, so here's the case. As you can see, it's south-facing RGB. We're going to try some of these. These are the DeHuck. Most Hall effect switches are linear, which means that they're smooth. They don't usually have a click to them. They're usually lighter. These in particular, I have put new springs in them. And so they're a little bit heavier. Let me... But... yeah, I mean, it's the same technology, just operates a little bit differently. Basically, there is a sensor, or depending on what kind of Hall effect it is, there could be a sensor for each key, or there could be a sensor for different zones. And basically, it registers, and it's easier to see on this one, in the stem, this white part here, at the bottom, you can see it there. There is a magnet. So as you push down on the magnet, it moves the magnetic field that surrounds a magnet, and the sensor registers that shift, and that is how it determines where in the push the stem is, and the keycaps go on the stem, so it registers where in this range it is, and in doing so, that is how you can do all of that Hall effect trickery, because it, as opposed to a mechanical switch where it works by the stem pushes a contact to meet the other contact, and where it meets, that says on and off. As magnetic switches are considered analog. I don't know if that's really the right term, but everybody's using it, and so I'll just go with it for now until I can refute it. But having an analog switch, you can measure it anywhere in the distance, so you can set, like, where do you want the actuation point, where do you want it to trigger at, instead of where is that on point at, as opposed to a mechanical switch, which are stuck at wherever the switch is designed to push against. And because the mechanical switches yeah, they have the new Huntsman optical actually has the ability to do selectable actuation points, but I don't know. I've never been really that impressed with optical switches, to be honest. And you don't have that great a selection. It's got kind of has the same problem as the new induction switches. Induction, which is an even more interesting technology to me, anyway. Yeah, well, you can do that with Hall effect too. The same thing that allows you to do that with an optical switch will allow you to do it with a Hall effect switch. Hall effect, optical, and to some smaller degree induction are all why aren't you going in all the way? Are all considered analog switches and can all do that driving bit. Fine, you don't want to go in? You don't have to go in. There's plenty others waiting in your place. Go be lazy. So induction is brand new. There are only 3 keyboards that I know that utilize it right now, and I only know 2 of them off the top of my head. But essentially, what it is the PCB has sensors on it, and it applies an electrical field, a very low power electrical field to the whole thing, and each switch, similar to a magnetic switch, but instead of having a magnet, it has a little conical spike that comes out the bottom of the switch, and the when you push on the key, it the spike pierces the electrical field, and because it's conical, it knows how far it's penetrated the electrical field, and it uses that in the same way that a magnet does, but without without having to be concerned about magnetic fields, and it's also much more power friendly. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. So I'm trying to think of a good full mechanical keyboard. That is under $200. I think there is there's the Monsgeek, and there are several Monsgeeks that fit that bill. I can show you what a Monsgeek M2 V1 looks like in just a second. And that is going to be sub $200. You can buy it all built out, or you can buy it as a bare bones kit and build it yourself, which I recommend because it's fun. Okay. So, this weighty boy is my Monsgeek M2. It's a wedge design. This is their first generation. This is when it first came out. That's what it sounds like with what I've got in it. But, of course, you know, you buy a kit version, and you can put whatever switches you want in it. I can make suggestions, depending on what you're digging on. I got some new switches coming in, like, tomorrow? Oh, so I'm going to be doing another stream on Wednesday, since Brenda is out of town visiting her dad. That is exactly how it's spelled, yes. And it's the M series keyboard is the one I just showed you. They actually have a brand new M2V5, but honestly, if you can get the M1 or get the M2V1, I think they're on sale right now, and I don't know. I mean, I have this, and this supports both mechanical and Hall effect switches, as does the M2 V5 TMR. So you could actually do both, but I don't know that that it sounds as good. Hey, it's another one that doesn't want to go in. Don't need you. And again, these are the DeHuck switches. I will have to get their actual full name, but I think there's only one DeHuck Hall effect switch on the market right now. Certainly one that is brown bottom with an orange stem. Oh, did I'm also getting some Gateron Jade Pros that I won at an auction for 90 Gateron Jade Pros Hall effect switches. Forget this, $12. Oh my god, such a good deal. They're normally like $78. Or or 73, something crazy. All right. For keycaps today, because I'm not putting these back on there, because since these are not white and clear switches, they would look like hot garbage. We're going to go with some good old, and I want to see if I can really ramp up the deep sound on this. I am going to go with some Osume Tsukimi keycaps, which I think will go well with little cute bunnies. Which I think will go well with the white shade of the case. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good match. These are, the Dahuk switches are semi-silent, which means that, I know, I love a good deal. They have silicone on the top out, so that when the key comes back up, it doesn't make sound. But on the down press, it does, which we'll check out in a little bit. But I wanted to kind of save that for after. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could help. Stop back by, like I said, if you want any suggestions for switches or keycaps or anything like that. There's a great keycap set on sale right now that just came out called Dark Covenant. It's very, very neat looking. It's over at Divinity's. That's two. Oh, you came loose. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Yeah, man. Yeah, the Monsgeek M2 was my first aluminum chassis keyboard. It was all downhill after that. Not exactly sure why I did that, but okay. And the last one. So how'd your Burr go, Beast Mode? Did you have fun with the Burr? All right. And we have a keyboard. Again. Still. Some more. As well. Now, is he leaving the Burr gun with you, or I guess I don't understand. Or is he just going to bring it over anytime you get a commission? All right, so here we go. This is the Tsukimi by Usume on the MelGeek Real67 with the, let's find out what the name of that. You're going to get a preview of the sound as I go and look this up. On point, right. These are the Dahuk Lumia on point Hall effect switches. And let's go ahead and we're going to do a sound test. So I'm going to pause the music. There we go. How high is this front height? It seems kind of high. Let's see here. No, it's not. It's just me. It's actually pretty low. It's 18.8 millimeters, at least by my measurement. So, you just need So, I mean, still kind of a deeper clack, which is kind of what I was going for. As opposed to the Geon Raws, which sound like I'm typing a lot faster on it because it has a top out, because there's not really any top out sound on this. So we have these two. Then we also have, this is the Newfie Halo 65, and it is got the Gateron Jade Pros in it. So this is stock. This is how it came. I did get it at an auction for a really good price, but you can get it with the Jade Pros. So of course, not with, you know, the whole Autobot thing that I have going on, but, you know, because they're in disguise. Well, that's cool that he said you can use it whenever. And then finally, we're going to move you out for a moment. So again, this is a plastic case. The Halo 65 is only aluminum on the top frame, and the bottom is a polycarbonate, and then there is like a mid-light, which you can see when we plug it in. And then the Monsgeek M1 V5 TMR is an all aluminum construction. And then you've got the big boy. Oh. So this, as I said earlier, is the Keychron Q5HE. So this is this is a Hall effect keyboard. It only does Hall effect, and it is a South Pole facing keyboard, as opposed to the rest of these, which are all North Pole facing. And this is important because if you you can't get the opposite polarity switches. So if you have a South Pole facing switch keyboard like the Keychron, you can't use these, for instance. You can't use the Dahuk. You can't use the Gateron Jade Pros. You can't use the Geon Raws. You have to use switches that are compatible. In this particular case, I got some switches that were supposed to be compatible and then weren't, but the stem for the switches that I got, which were the Jade Mini E switches, while the switches themselves were not compatible, the stems were compatible with the Nebula switches that came in it. They were both made by Gateron. Coke Zero, not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but if they wanted to sponsor me, I'll take some of that sweet, sweet Coca-Cola money. It's the same joke every time. So, and then you have, so this is kind of a, and this is the Tomorrow switches by Mode, and so this is going to be much clackier, partially because of the switches, which are closed bottom because of the Jade Mini E, but are just kind of clackier by their nature. And then let me grab one. So it has a solid bottom, which is good when you're doing sound. But the nebula stem, which is purple, and it works. And yeah, so shove. Okay, I'll deal with all of you later. So let's go back to the browser catcher, and we'll bring that back up. And we're going to go back to the... So looking at the software, so you have multiple profiles, which are selectable on your function layer using UIOP. Not necessarily my favorite, but you can change the location of them, which, you know, I would do. So, because what I like is when I am configuring my keyboard and it's a 65%, I like having this here. And then, so I will move that. Do I get my arrow? Follow the default layer. There we go. Follow the default layer, and then we'll put that over here. Yeah. So I mean that's pretty simple. There's nothing locked out. All of this stuff is good. The lighting, I would say, is a little lackluster, except for the fact that you can fully customize the lighting. Blue. That's fun. Did you reset my key? Oh no, okay. Your rapid trigger is... Oh, you get to select your switch, which has a lot of options here. It does not have the switch that is installed in it right now. But it has 3 different versions of the COM switch, which they're all the same switch. I'm pretty sure. I don't even think they have different... Anyway. Let's check out their calibration function. So this is pretty standard. Why aren't you doing your thing? Come here, Zero. We'll try a different switch just to be sure. Keep you separate. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay. And then save. All right, so we have saved our calibration. Check our default settings. Toggle link KRO. Auto calibration, so that's good. It auto sleeps after 5 minutes. This is a wired only keyboard, as far as I know. It seems like this should show what you're typing at, but it doesn't. No, that's fine. I mean, if you like. If you like RGB, like I do. Okay. So, that is... Oh, your replacement keycaps just came in. That's cool. So that's the look at the MelGeek. Let's jump over and see how that experience compares to the Keychron launcher. So I'm going to put you here. You hang out. As you can see, the Keychron also has individual per key RGB, which is cool. And Keychron launcher. Now, if this looks a little familiar, it's because it kind of looks similar. So this has 3 profiles, and if you hit function P and then one of these 3 keys, that's how you switch between the 3 modes that it has, which is default, gaming, and gamepad. So right now I have mine set for gaming is at 0.6. Oh, that's nice. They give you everything, huh? That's sweet. And hopefully none of them are broken. I would guess. So the firmware update on here, which it's at the latest firmware, is a little bit more tricky than that, than the MelGeek. The MelGeek was really easy. Keychron's not so much, because you have to put it into bootloader mode, and then you have to download the QMK launcher, because this is essentially built on a fork of QMK. The backlight mode, very similar. You can do per key RGB or backlight. You can do indicator lights. It's pretty nice. I did not run into an excessive number of RGB zones, so that is cool. Oh, right. Speaking of which, hold on a second. Let me start the music back up. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, back to what I was doing. This has macros, which you can set a bunch of macros. You can assign the keys. You can reset your key mapping. You have 2 pairs of 2 layers. So this is the Windows mode. So it starts at layer 2. And the function layer for Windows mode is layer 3. And the Mac layer, primary default layer is layer 0. And then its function layer is layer 1, or option layer, or whatever it's called. Max. I'm just kidding. And set your auto. So overall, I would say that this has some extra features. I mean, sure, it has things like key test, which are not, it's not really a feature. Except for, you know, it's fun. Whatever, quick start. Oh, that's quick starting applications, which we're not going to use. The backlight, which we've already gone over. Key map, and then your HE mode. So, this is going back to what I was talking to War Manatee about earlier. The analog gamepad mode, that is going to be your driving setup. So not exactly sure how it works because I've never used it because I don't do driving games. But you can set your actuation distance. Again, mine is currently set to 0.6 millimeters. This is not a TMR. So there will be a slight dead zone. So really, like, this has rapid trigger set to 0.1. But in reality, well, in reality, rapid trigger is turned off, so it doesn't matter. But in reality, it has a 0.2 or 0.3 millimeter dead zone at the very top that if you set it in there, it's not going to actually actuate until it gets past the dead zone, whatever the dead zone for your particular keyboard is. So yeah, overall, I would say that the MelGeek definitely stands up against the Keychron's software. And if anybody has any questions or if they want me to show them anything with this, let me know. I'm just kind of going through things, just kind of showing it off and letting you make your own choices. So the MelGeek, by the way, is $150 for the keyboard that I got, the Real67. For that same price, or possibly a little cheaper, you can get the this one, the Monsgeek. So now the Monsgeek is going to come the Monsgeek is going to come pre-assembled with its front-facing shine-through keycaps, which are not bad, but not bad either. And then it's going to now it comes with the Astro Aim magnetic switch, which really looks strongly like the Acco Glare switches. The glare switches, which I didn't really like. Actually, I guess the glares are a box switch, and this is not. So this actually, the Astro Aim looks more like a Gateron switch than anything. But the online driver for the Monsgeek, as opposed to the MelGeek, did require us to install an IoT driver for it to be able to see the keyboard. So keep that in mind. This is a 75% as opposed to the 65%, but does include a knob if you're into knobs. And then it does also have switch selection, but it doesn't have a very good switch selection, so you just kind of have to go with the one that you think is closest to yours. It does have key remapping, and it has 4 layers. But doesn't really show you what the layers are doing at the other layer. So the software, I would say, the Monsgeek software has promise, but is overall less good than both the Keychron and the MelGeek. You do have your advanced settings, so mod tap, socked, it supports that on a different place here, where you set up your 2 keys. I don't know why they didn't have it under advanced settings and just combine it. Could have just had another tab. I don't know why they... I think they wanted to bring attention to... I don't know. It's stupid. So it has different layers, which I think are actually the different profiles that you can switch through. Because you also have your function settings, which are here. And that is my fault. So there's more layers to the Keychron, but this is actually very similar to the MelGeek, so I guess they're about the same. But there is a lot more system keys on the Monsgeek that you cannot change. You cannot change any of these keys. Anything in yellow cannot be changed. Anything in green, I've already changed or is different. This has macros, the MelGeek doesn't, the Keychron does. Then you have your lights, which you can do per key RGB. You can actually upload an image and have it try to interpret that. Then you can share and look through other people's shared light scenarios to find one you like. You can save those things to your profile if you're into that kind of community thing. Let's see. It has the latest firmware. The firmware upgrading process is easier than the Keychron and about the same as the MelGeek. So I would say that this is pretty on par with the MelGeek experience. The difference is that you get an aluminum chassis keyboard that also is a ball catch system. So for usability, it is like tons better. I currently have some polyfill in here, so I'm not going to really take it apart. Put that back down, put this back on. But where this keyboard shines that the other keyboard, and you might have noticed it earlier, that the MelGeek cannot touch, is the fact that on top of using Hall Effect, it has a hot swap socket in it. So you can actually insert keys, regular mechanical switches like this one in here, and it will work. And you can have them run in tandem. So I can actually plug this in, and then there you go. So, ooh, that actually sounds nice. Maybe I will switch it up for just mechanical. Maybe I'll make this into a mechanical key. I don't know. Anyway, so you can do that, which in my mind makes it a lot better. This also has no dead zone because it is a TMR keyboard. If you're in the market for a Hall effect keyboard and you want to stay inside a budget and you're looking for something good, the Monsgeek TMRs are some of the better ones. So now we've come to what I think is probably one of the main people who are trying to be a direct competitor to Wooting, and that is the Halo by Newfie. So Halo, because it has this halo that runs around the outside. And there you go. And then can I get to Newfie 2.0? Let's find out. Apparently I need to do an update real quick. So we'll update now so that I'm compatible with Newfie 2.0 so that we can actually, we'll look at this together. I do not have that. Do I need to... There we go. So in order to do the update to this keyboard, you need to put it into bootloader mode, which means that it's going to try to put it in bootloader mode. It's going to not go into bootloader mode, and you are going to have to disconnect it, hold down escape while plugging it back in. That's how you put a keyboard into bootloader mode in a lot of cases. So here we go. This is a bunch of stuff. Let's go back to I/O. Let's go back into 2.0. See if it loads. And it does. Okay, that's better. So this has 3 modes. It has a Mac mode, a Windows mode, and a gaming mode, which is switchable on this physical switch on the back. And that is how you determine what mode you're in. I'm in Windows mode right now. You can have different recommended settings. Take a look at the trigger settings. It defaults to the Gateron Jade Pros because that's what comes in it, and that's fine because that's what's still in it. So As you can see, it does have a 0.5 millimeter dead zone at the top and a 0.5 millimeter dead zone at the bottom. By default, this is set for 2 millimeters, which I am going to select all. Oh, and it's set for 1.5 millimeters. Oh no, it's set for 2 millimeters, but since there is a 0.5 millimeter dead zone, it takes away 0.5 millimeters of space. So how do I change it? I've selected all my keys. So I want 0.7. So I want 0.7 because I want a 1.2 millimeter configuration. I'm going to put y'all on hold for a sec so I can go talk to Freya. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, we're dealing with some family stuff, so that will possibly occasionally happen. So the advanced features, which are all the same as the other ones, socked, hyper tap, rapid shift, mod tap, dynamic keystrokes. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean it's it's a thing. And oh, we're good. Why did you turn off? So this has per key RGB, just like the other two. But I don't know how to commit it. And the light turned off. Anyway, so... Oh, because it went to sleep. So apply. So this is actually less functional than the last one we had, the Newfie 1.0, which seemed to be more functional than this. It just keeps making more of those, which is dumb. Is there scrolling that I'm missing here? Yeah, that's the halo light. We'll come back to you. Can we do rain? The only thing that's changing is the spacebar and the inner key. And I don't know why. So that's kind of dumb. Yeah. So let's see if we can go to the old version of the driver and get something a little bit better. So obviously the lighting effect looks a little bit lamer. Do custom. Let's see if we can select all. Again, it's only selecting those two. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Everything is highlighted. So it's only affecting the spacebar. Maybe I just need to reset this keyboard. Okay. Okay. So the okay, you. Well, hold on there. Okay. This actually makes this keyboard better than all of the other keyboards that we've tested tonight. And that is being able to reduce or select a smaller polling rate. This is a functionality that should be included on all 8000 hertz polling rate keyboards. And that's because 8000 hertz polling rate increases the stress on the CPU by about 8 times. Whereas most people will not need an 8000 hertz polling rate even if they're gaming. Most people can get along with 2, or like you can just boost it to 4 and still not use up all that juice. So yes, that actually makes the Newfie, aside from the fact that I need to figure out why I can only configure 1 of the, or 2 of the keys, makes it actually better. Let's check our key bindings for where 4. So this has switch selection as well. That is where the problem is. I'm not exactly sure what constitutes the double. Did not do this previously, so I assume this is something new with the new firmware. Ooh. Okay. Now let's go back to lighting effects. Okay, look at that. And the last row. Yeah, that looks nice. Side lights. Decorative lamp. Which is currently off. Oh no, it's on. Okay, anyway. Okay, so the Newfie, I think, has the best software. Obviously, it is going to have the best software because and part of the Newfie 2.0 was my own stupidity because it wanted me to, calibrate, which it did not make clear to me. So in that way, it's dumb. The function, because it's function layer 4, 5, 6, and 7, that's because it's in mode 2, which has 4 different layers available to it. And then you have your different profiles within those modes. Or your different profiles are the different modes, and then you have different layers inside the profiles. Whew, okay. Got that all figured out. And I think... yeah, unless anybody has any questions, I might wrap up the stream. I think that overall, going back to our, let's see, going back to our 3 guys here, which are the Monsgeek, M1 V5 TMR, the Newfie Halo 65, and our newcomer for today, the MelGeek Real 67. Thanks. The comparison is that you should get, if you're looking for a 65% at that $150 price range, which is what I believe the Halo can be gotten for right now. Let's see. Or that the Real 67 is. So let's check out Newfie.com. HE keyboards. Halo 65 with Jade Pros is $110. And it comes with magnetic Jade Pros as opposed to the TTC COM switches. And for the same price as the MelGeek, you can add a two-tone wrist rest made out of polycarbonate. And yeah, and this is the keycap set that it comes with. The keycaps that came on it were perfectly fine. I like Transformers. I also like their double shot as opposed to die sub. I prefer die sub because they're deeper. Get the Halo 65. There have been some quality questions regarding Newfie products. So take that for what it's worth, but I also haven't heard anything good or bad about the MelGeek customer service. So it could be roughly about the same. But take that with a grain of salt. But as far as my money goes, I would say that the Newfie Halo 65 HE is a better bet for your money over the MelGeek Real 67. And then there is, I would love to have shown you the Venom 60. They're supposed to be coming out with a Venom 65 very soon, and I'm looking forward to it, but it's not out yet. And my Venom is currently waiting on a brand new tofu redux case and aluminum plate and brass weight, and that will be a stream for another time. So let's see if anybody is out there that we can raid that's doing keyboards right now. Let's see. It's maker stuff. Search. Nope. 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 Apparently not. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream then. I hope you all... Oh, thanks, Dazed Effect. I just... So it's good, not as good as the Halo 65. So if this is all you have available to you, it's certainly good. It's kind of pricey for what you get. But that's me. I hope y'all enjoy the stream. I will be streaming again on Wednesday, and then it'll be the Stars 80 by YKev, and we're going to be building it out with cosmic purples and spellbook. So I think it's going to be a really pretty board, and I hope you join me then. And until next time, thanks for joining me.